I got expelled from my private school when I was 9 years old. And I was
I didn't know that.
the black sheep of my family. Yeah, everyone knows now.
Fucking
Hi,
hell.
mum. Hi, everyone else. I also got
Hang on, what
thrown
did you
out.
get expelled for at 9 years old?
Racism and stepping up to a bully. And unfortunately, I was the one that ended up being... my dad did accountancy, he did accountancy, a lot of other ones did accountancy. So it was kind of the safe bet. And that's when I went into sort of PricewaterhouseCoopers, and that's the start of my career, really.
And the thing is, for a lot of young people, like especially getting to that age where they're going to graduate,
Yeah,
getting into one of those top 4 firms is like the dream. Like, you said you arrived when you arrived at that high school, but for them that is arriving, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, I didn't think, and I think this comes down to belief, isn't it? I didn't think when I was in university that I was capable enough to get to a big 4 accountancy firm. When I look back now, I was like, well, that's exactly where you should have gone. And I think if I had role models that helped me, I suppose, both in my family, but also around me, that said, actually, you're the type of individual that can go into that. Yeah, I mean, it's a meritocracy, and not everyone can make it. And I think that's the thing I'd certainly learned in business, and even in private equity now, where I'm at, is not everyone is going to be there at the end. And you've got to make some pretty hard decisions, both about yourself and your own skills, and also other people's skills that we back in our businesses. I think for a long time, the UK as well, aside from the US, which is really good at this, they tend to allow people in a position where actually it might not be good for the individual and also for the business. I've learned over a period of time is that you save people in jobs if you just have a conversation and say, look, you're better off over here versus here. And I think that's to yourself as well. You don't have to be a jack of all trades. I thought when I was, a 21-year-old kid, I had to be good at everything. Actually, I realized I'm not good at everything. And actually there's individual things that I'm really good at, focus on that, leadership, entrepreneurialism, teamwork and commerciality. And there's other stuff which I'm not as good at. So let someone else do that.
So what were the kind of things that you discovered that you weren't so good at, and how did you discover that you weren't so good at them? And it's a bit of a recurring theme. Like, I speak to a lot of people who say that since they graduated, they haven't really had to use their CV because things kind of fall into place. You make connections, you make contacts. So to what extent would you say like having those connections and contacts are important as you get into your career?
It's fundamental. I mean, it's fun. If you're in any finance or business role, even, in any role really, I think networking and understanding who your core network is very, very important, right?